Welcome to part 2 of What's Under the Ocean Floor. If you missed part 1, be sure to click the link in the description to watch that video first. If you saw part 1, you know that COSI Educator Lindy Newman is currently on board a research vessel that has set out to study the South Pacific Paleogene climate through ocean drilling. In our last video, Lindy talked about her upcoming trip on the JOIDES Resolution. Today, we are communicating with her from on board the ship. The JOIDES Resolution set out early this month and is currently on its way to the drill site. Lindy, why was that specific location selected for drilling?
So our drill site is actually a redo of a site that was drilled almost 50 years ago. The difference between now and then on technology and on drilling techniques is amazing. And so we're going back to get this information that is really, really critical. We're drilling to a site that's 65 to 25 million years old. And if you think back, that means that's right after the extinction of the dinosaurs in a time of major global warming. And so we are looking to get more information from this really important time in Earth's history.
Very cool. And when you get the cores from the drill site, what sorts of tests and experiments are performed?
So when we bring these cores up into the JR, the main question we're trying to answer is how old are these cores? Because all of the science that follows rests on that question. So chemists read chemical compositions of the cores, paleomagnetists determine the magnetic signature, microbiologists look at tiny, tiny fossils, all in search of the answer to this question, how old is the core? And then when these cores go back to shore, they can get used for a ton of different kinds of scientific questions.
Well, you already answered my next question a bit in your last response, but the title of this video is What's Under the Ocean Floor? So can you tell us what's down there?
So the answer is mud. Mud and rock sit in layers under the ocean floor, and when we pull up those layers, they can serve as the recorded history of our Earth. And that data can be used to model our future. So it's mud, but it's actually the key to our past, present, and future.
That is amazing. It's incredible how much scientific information is stored in mud. So then what are the biggest challenges of deep sea drilling?
So the biggest challenge of ocean drilling is always unpredictability, which is why it's so important to get out here and get this information in the first place. So we have an idea of what a site is going to look like before we get there and drill, but there are always things that you can't predict. Sometimes weather forces us to change our plans. Sometimes the rock isn't as easily drilled as you thought it might be. But all in all, it is so important to get out here and get this information that cannot be obtained any other way.
And speaking of unpredictability, what surprised you most about the trip?
So the most surprising thing would probably be how comfortable it is. The JR is home to up to 130 people for up to 2 months at a time, and so it has to kind of have those creature comforts that keep people happy. Also, there's an ice cream machine.
Okay, I definitely would not have expected an ice cream machine. Lindy, we have a few questions from our social media followers too. YouTube viewer Catherine wants to know what kinds of scientists are on board the JOIDES Resolution.
Anyone who is interested in the Earth's history. So most of these scientists fall under either the disciplines of geology or biology. We have structural geologists, we have sedimentologists, micropaleontologists, chemists, and way, way more. In addition to those scientists, we have about 30 lab technicians who sail with us, who help us run the experiments and help us maintain the lab equipment.
That sounds like an incredibly diverse team collaborating for a common goal. And it is so great that you and the other onboard outreach officers are able to be there to help communicate the scientific content. Along those lines, YouTube viewer Thaddeus wants to know how you got involved in this project.
So the JOIDES Resolution actually takes out at least one outreach educator for every expedition they do, which is roughly 4 to 6 expeditions a year. And they take all sorts of people. They take artists, videographers, teachers, informal educators, all sorts. So I applied for this opportunity and I was lucky enough to get it. And actually, if you are a person who's passionate about science communication, you can head to joidesresolution.org and you can check out their application process, and maybe you too can sail on the JOIDES Resolution.
If you like this video, remember to like, subscribe, and comment below. And for more information on COSI, Columbus, Ohio's Center of Science and Industry, visit cosi.org.